I don't know what episode this is. I think it's 316.
5,000 already.
But I can say that we have over 300 subscribers. Thank you.
Yay.
And, introductions are in order. Who we have today? Actually, take it away, Cheryl.
Hi, everyone.
Legend.
It's Legend Cheryl.
Legend
Let me
Cheryl.
correct you
Legend
right
Cheryl and Legend
Oh.
Tiff.
Today, I'm back again. I came on once, and I'm back again today with, thank you guys for having me,
Of course.
with Legend Tiffany here. She's like my legend bestie.
Awesome.
Legendary bestie. So, yeah.
So we want to know, like, what's the deal with the legend? Is that part of, like, say, like, you and I have a clan? This is your clan?
The cult.
Yeah?
It's
a
like
cult?
It's a cult at
It
this
is.
point. Let Tiff answer this question. We're very serious about this. Like,
I think, how did it start?
it started off as a meme where I
Yeah.
just kept saying the word legendary for no reason.
Cool.
And then I think like we were at Coachella and we were like, what should we call our group? And we were like, hold on, we're the only people dancing while everyone else was like rolling and
Yes.
drunk, and we
Yes.
were like on semi-sober energy.
And
So,
now we get canceled
yeah.
again.
No. We don't encourage drug use or anything.
Right. Say no
we
to
really
drugs.
don't.
And
Yeah.
other drugs.
So yeah, I guess right too.
That's
how
cool.
we did it.
That's awesome. Coachella was fun, wasn't it? There was a lot of cool parties.
lot
Did you guys
of
go to the
fun.
Spotify one? I forget who was dropping an album. Somebody was dropping.
We didn't go to Spotify, but we went to 88 Rising.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That was
so
the big one with
really
the big
fun.
wheel, or
No, that was
I think that was-
Revolve.
yeah.
Revolve? Yeah, that thing was epic.
There was
Jimmy,
a lot of controversy.
How old are you now? Like 32,
I'm
and
like
you're
18
going
all over.
to Coachella still? I mean,
Coachella
you were there,
is the
weren't
place
you?
to be. Yeah,
It was
Yeah,
nice.
it was
nice.
it was epic. It was legendary.
Oh, it really
Legendary.
was. It
So,
really was.
are you guys going to drag me next year so
Next
I
year
can
we're gonna
experience?
go.
I've never been to
No.
Coachella.
Next year we're all gonna go in one of them Sprinter vans, buses, or whatever they call those.
We drove. Wait, I
You guys
drove.
drove.
I drove.
Cheryl
y'all.
drove.
Yeah. And it
I
was really
hitchhike, bro. Old school. I'm older.
But we just hijacked this conversation, so I'll let Cheryl and Tiff go back to where were you, Cheryl?
Where were we?
We were
today?
Yeah, weren't you
But
guys
how
gonna
the
do a
legend-
Oh, the
takeover?
legends.
Yes,
All
he
right.
asked us about the legends.
All right. You continue. Go for
yeah,
it.
so I think when we tell people, oh, we're legends, they think, oh, you guys are just joking around. It's very meme-ish. And I do agree in some way, because from an outside point of view, it sounds a little crazy and ridiculous. But actually, we are just three really, really close friends. And it's crazy because we actually met just a month and a half ago.
Wow, it's kind of like Jimmy. We've only known each other for 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh,
about
this
6
is
months.
even
Yeah.
shorter. Like
Yeah,
a month,
a month is
literally.
not long at all.
Yeah.
We were already exchanging underwear when we were had just known each other for a month. So,
Okay, we'll have a
Oh.
disclosure for that one too.
Oh.
But what I wanted,
Haven't
what I
done that
really
yet.
want to get into, since we unfortunately I could do this all night,
Yeah.
but we're going to be limited on time. Is there's a company that came from, the name Legend ended up. Are we allowed to talk about that?
Yeah. I
Okay,
mean, it's
all right.
something that's upcoming, and we're working on it.
That's
But
cool.
like
big,
Tiff said,
folks.
it started off as a meme, but I realized that when you find a group of people that you are on the same energy wavelength with, and it's so different because you feel like you've met your clan, not a cult, a clan.
That's what we
of,
are. a
like
clan.
people who whenever I'm down or whenever one of us are down, we just communicate and we just get along so well. And all of us are really artistic people. So actually the third legend isn't here today, sadly.
We're gonna
but,
get him. He's gonna be in here though. Ben,
Yes,
I
I haven't met you,
Legend
but I
Ben.
know you. I know you're out there. I want you in here.
So we also have a lot of wonderful people who help us with this whole thing, but it's basically the three of us who always just, I guess, work on it together. And right now we're actually just finalizing a few more details, and
That's
yeah,
so cool.
we're
It's
just
legendary.
yeah, it really is. We just thought about this idea
And
a
everything
while
comes
back.
in threes. Isn't that something's a magic number?
Well, speaking
no.
of three,
Yeah.
there's something that I am not very familiar with, but I'm intrigued and I want to learn more about it. And I went on YouTube and I started
Going down that rabbit
searching,
hole.
trying to figure out what is this Web 3 thing I keep hearing about. Speaking of three,
That's right.
three.
Yeah.
Are you guys asking me?
Yes, Share Bear.
Why is everyone looking at me?
We'll look at Tiff then. You know what Web3 is.
Tiff, do you have any
Well,
knowledge?
actually, prior to meeting them, I was actually very against Web3.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
shoot.
So is that a
Conspiracy
taboo?
theorists are out
I
there.
didn't like the
Leave it in the
whole-
comments, you conspiracy
I didn't
theorists.
like the fact that everything was digital. I think there's something very special about owning a piece of art that you can have like physically.
Oh.
So the Web3 ties in with NFT, or am I just rapping here?
Let's see. Let me look it up.
Well, honestly, Web3 is inclusive of the whole blockchain network. So it's like crypto, it's like altcoins, it's like DAOs, it's like NFTs, it's everything. It's communities and everything. It's mainly, in my opinion, a community-driven, like, web thing. You know, like
Okay.
I don't know what I was saying, but
Yeah.
it's mainly community-driven. Like NFTs, in my opinion, are community-driven, and I do agree with Tiff that prior to actually learning about Web3, I was like, what? Why are people buy art online? But I also realized that this allows independent artists the big opportunity to actually, put their art out there,
Yeah.
with whatever utility they want. And the space like grows every single day,
So it's kind of like the social media of sorts, the way the social media works, in that like it's groups of people that it's not affiliated to a specific conglomerate. How in the olden days everything's owned by one company or two.
Yeah.
This is great stuff because now it gives you guys ownership and anyone
Yeah.
can sort of put their artwork out there.
And
Love
I
it.
guess it's transparency.
Yeah.
Well, my cousin is an artist. His name is Timothy Welsh. Shout out to my cousin Timothy. He's very, very talented. I share his art on my Instagram, James Welsh Actor. And I'm going to ask him about it because I'm not sure. He's so smart. He's like super intelligent. So he keeps up with some stuff, and some stuff he just poo-poos and says like, not for me,
yeah.
So I'm going to ask him about it. But yeah, it's fascinating to me because plus tax. I also listen to Elon Musk talk about his concerns about AI.
Mm-hmm.
And when I hear Web3, because I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm learning, it seems so futuristic and
Yeah, I guess with Web3, like as much as you hear people talk about it, sometimes I feel like you just have to experience it yourself and you have to learn on your own journey. Like I have watched so many videos, I've talked to so many people, but to be very honest with you, like the way that I've learned was actually just meeting people, learning through my mistakes in Web3, wrong investments, scams, getting scammed, and just talking to people really helped with it. I honestly just think that's the best way you can learn, and to learn with the open heart, I guess. But yeah, me and Tiff, we actually talk about Web3 a lot, and Tiff is also like growing to learn more about the space every day. So I'm not even a professional in the space, let alone anybody. We're all still learning, and yeah, it's just something new and something interesting.
So it's like a precursor to something really big, right? It's in its small little inception, kind of small early stages, right? It's still in its early stages, I imagine, because I haven't heard so much about it.
One thing that you said that reminded me of something I never forgot, and it was a lesson that my friend's father, this was right after I got out of high school, he talked to me, and this guy was a contractor in Newport Beach, and my dad was a painter, and I was painting with my dad, and he wanted me to do some painting for him.
Yeah.
And then he encouraged me to go out on my own business.
Yeah.
And we were at a store one time, and we were talking about something, a mistake happened or whatever, and he said, "Let me tell you something, Jim." I used to go by Jim. He said, actually he called me Jimmy. But he said, "Let me tell you something, Jimmy. You'll learn from your mistakes, especially when they cost you money."
Oh, yeah.
And when you said that about how the learning curve and everything, and it was painful because you invested and it didn't always work out. But for great things to happen, sometimes you have to take those risks.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like personally, I think I'm speaking for myself here. Other than Web3, I don't really agree on the whole money thing because like even if I lost a lot of money, I don't really learn my lesson.
Uh-oh.
Like, example, the one time that like I was simping over this one guy, and
I think we need to explain what simping is for some of the people out there. They might not know.
This is where the fun begins.
Yeah,
because this
yeah,
is where
we
the
were talking
deep
about this.
conversations come in. Tiffany here, legend Tiff, she actually really loves deep conversations. So I wanted to dedicate
do.
this whole conversation to like having deep conversations about like, you know, life and the world and stuff, other than, you know, like technical talk, because I talk about that a lot already. So yeah, like simping, by the way, for all the non-Gen Z people here in this room, I'm not pointing fingers, but
It's them. I know what simping means.
simping is actually a term for somebody who literally has no personality but dedicating their life to you, which there is nothing wrong with that. I love my simps, I really do, and I love simping as well. I personally have been, still am, always gonna be a simp.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say that everyone simps at one time or another in their life
Sure.
for someone else?
I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Or
it's-
I think with simps, I recently learned of this new term from Mr. Ben. Simps can also be called NPCs.
What's that?
Okay, and
lost me. That's okay.
okay,
It sounds-
this is where we need
All right,
to
this
explain.
is going to be exciting. I want to hear
Alright.
this. What's
NPCs,
What are NPCs,
Yeah.
Legend Tiff?
non-playable characters.
Oh, what does that mean?
You know when you're in a video game,
I don't
there's, like,
play as
there's a main
much as others.
character, there's a support, and then there's a non-playable character.
I think
Oh,
but
yeah.
the player
like-
wants to play.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
He's just a non-playable character.
that's
Okay.
interesting.
So is that like the characters that are running around that you're not supposed to shoot? No? Okay.
Okay,
I
it's-
forget about that.
I
Well,
think
we're
it's
still
other
stuck in the Atari, right?
yeah,
Atari
yeah.
2600.
I'm still like thinking about Doom where you go down the hallway and
I have
you know.
no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, I've seen you playing on Twitch.
Yeah, she
so
does.
You
Oh my
play with
God.
the
She
guns.
does.
And,
Okay, NPC in a short form term in not games. Let's just give it that way. You know how like in a movie, right? There's like just some people in the movie like extras. You know.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
just there. They're just there. But we're not categorizing it to that. I'm just giving you an example. So that's
Good
not what I mean,
example.
but it's like
Okay.
an example.
Gotcha.
But NPC. So basically, like, yeah, Legend Ben actually taught us about NPCs. So yeah, but not all Sims are NPCs, to be honest, right?
They could be support as well.
Yeah. Like personally, I would like to believe that I have a few support characters in my main character moment. Cause what about you, Tiff? Legend Tiff.
I don't think I'm ready for a relationship. I don't want to support or any NPCs or Sims. I don't know. I just
We're
want
lost now. This is really a takeover.
This is
And
a
for people
takeover,
on
yeah.
Spotify, I think they're going to really like hearing these voices because it sounds really nice in my ears.
Oh, thank
Just
you.
saying. I hope that's not.
How about
Can I
your-
say that? Is that all right?
What about you guys ever heard of the STDs?
Oh, jeez.
Oh
Great.
my gosh.
STDs are
How do we go
fantastic.
from Sims to NPCs and STDs?
Because
Right.
STDs.
You don't
Please
know
tell
what's
me it
STDs?
means
Wait.
something different than.
Wait,
He's
you
a
don't know, wait,
comedian,
I want
Rachel.
to. I want to. Do you know what STD?
She's from Malaysia, that's why.
Okay. Do you know what STDs are?
Sexually transmitted disease.
I have a
Really?
feeling there's another meaning
Yeah.
for it.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
there
sexually
is.
transmitted
No, that's what it is.
disease.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
totally
disease.
messing
Yeah,
up.
I know
I
what
want to
that
catch you
is.
guys by sort. You do, right?
So
Yeah, of
what's
course I know what that
please
is.
tell me there's a
But I'm a
punchline to
virgin,
this,
though.
and we didn't just bring up
No, no,
STDs.
I
and
wanted-
just
I
go
wanted
leave
to-
it-
I
just
wanted to-
leave it
I
there,
wanted to- okay.
lingering.
No. So I wanted, because they're getting so deep into this,
Mhm.
I sort of wanted to throw a monkey wrench in there.
That's
And
it.
Yeah, that was it.
That was it. Okay, Jim. This is edited. We can edit some of this out if we need to. So.
Okay.
Yeah. I have $1 million question though.
All right.
It's not really
Is
$1
it?
million question, but it kind of is. Like, you know, people have seen me on this podcast before, and like that's
Right.
normal.
Uh-huh.
But like, I have a question for Tiff here.
Okay.
Like, what, in your opinion, how would you define love, and what is love to you? You know, like, you want a deep conversation? I'm gonna give you a deep conversation. Let's go in there. You know.
I'm a little nervous, guys. I don't usually film or am on camera ever.
Yeah,
so.
she really doesn't.
What
I
about when
don't
you
know.
play video
I've
games?
seen you on Instagram a few times, and
Oh, because we YOLO'd. We YOLO'd.
Are you going
Yes.
to talk about the event last night, or is that going to come later?
the
It's
Bling
gonna come
Empire?
later.
Okay,
We're gonna come
all right.
later.
In
Hold
time, I'll
on.
let you.
What is love? Should we also ask them what love is as well?
Yeah, actually, we should ask everyone what love is. This is a.
I got to be
inclusive
careful how I answer
conversation.
that question because I could be a smart ass and say it's overrated. but
Love,
I will
love
get
is Lonnie
canceled.
Love.
Yeah,
Lonnie Love,
there
there
you
you
go. Yeah. That's
Love
my
is, I
boo.
think for me, love is it's not a loosely thrown around word. You must feel it, and it must take over your life. And I think it really,
Wow, take
Why?
over
yeah,
your
it takes
life.
over
See,
your
now-
life. It
Hold
does.
on.
That's
Isn't
the
that
point.
just a
It does.
toxic relationship?
No,
though?
that's a toxic relationship.
It's an
and I have to
unhealthy
disagree.
attachment
Is
for those who.
exactly usually by and large is one where every step of the way they're asking you where the heck you're going, what are you doing, and you're not free. I mean, there has to be
That,
freedom.
that I
in a
don't call that
relationship.
love. But what I do, like the yin and the yang or whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it.
Yeah.
I know people that use the word all the time, and I think it's kind of nice. Like they'll tell their friends, "Hey, I love you,"
Yeah.
and when they say goodbye or something, love you in case they don't see you again. But then there's people that only use it like when it really counts. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to say one is right and one is wrong, but it just
Do
depends.
you guys know who Johnny Depp is? Because I know you guys are very
Yes.
young.
Yeah, we
Johnny
talked
Depp and
about
Amber?
that
Okay,
on
well,
our
that's
last
a toxic
podcast.
relationship for sure.
Yeah.
That is
Absolutely.
definitely defines a
Yeah.
toxic relationship.
Are we Team Depp or Team Heard?
Yeah.
Depp, I'm
Depp
sure.
all the way?
I'm sorry,
Okay.
for sure,
Sure.
because he likes a mega pint. He wants a mega pint.
The mega
guys.
glass of
And
what did
happy
they call
hour
it?
is anytime. All right,
Yeah,
I've
that's
learned
right.
from the legend himself. Happy hour is anytime. So
And she also defecated on his bed.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
We-
It's a shitty
nasty.
way of
And
doing
I went. We
stuff.
went from
It's literally
STDs to
shitty.
defecation.
it's literally shitty
Got
though.
everyone's attention now.
So Tiff,
Yeah.
what is
That-
love to you?
Yeah.
What is love? I think love is, well, there's many kinds of love, right? You can love someone and still not want to be with them because you love them for who they are. Like you can love someone for who they are as a person, or you can also love someone based off of how they treat you. Like
So there's different kinds of love.
I love you as
Phases
a
of love,
boyfriend,
yeah.
or I love you as a person, but I don't love you as a boyfriend because you can't treat me well.
Right. So where would the term soulmate, what category would that to you,
That would be
Shit.
both.
it could be
Oh,
like
shit.
taken lightly, or would that be like, oh no, that's serious to use
That's
that term?
very serious.
It's very serious. Soulmates don't
You're
just
giving
come
me
along.
PTSD,
No,
James.
has to be
Uh-oh,
someone
uh-oh.
that
PTSD right now.
has to be someone that really understands you, and when you're with them, you feel a sense of peace and
Comfort,
calmness and comfort, right?
No
And
angst.
And safety, right? You feel
Yes,
safe, right?
yes, you feel safe with this person, and you guys can openly communicate and talk about
That's right. Everything.
everything, all
Yeah.
your feelings. The
Basically,
good,
your
the
twin
bad.
flame.
Twin
Yes,
flame.
twin
There you go.
flame. Yeah.
Oh wow,
great,
I
yeah.
like that term. Have you ever heard of Dr. Laura?
I've never.
No.
Jim has.
Huh? Who's that?
Dr. Laura, you don't remember her? She had a radio show. It was kind of like a podcast, and she was a relationship therapist or something.
I used to go to Dr. Drew and
I
you
met
know,
Dr. Drew. I met.
And when they
yeah,
had
he's-
Love
Off
Line, remember
topic
Love
here,
Line?
guys. We're going
Yeah,
off
really.
topic
This is my
here.
ADD kicking in.
Stop
So
with your
just
ADHD, so-
rein me in. You know.
Trying to bring him back in
back
because,
in.
like, you know,
My
we're going off topic
therapist.
here.
Oh wow! Now everyone knows that I have a therapist. Said that sometimes, I don't know if she said my mind or just the mind in general will drift and wander, and it's like a puppy dog on a leash. You just got to pull him back when it does.
All
that.
right, so I'm gonna pull you back right now.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, what is love to you, James?
Well, that's a loaded question. I wasn't prepared to answer a question like
What
that.
kind of coffee are you drinking,
Well,
bro?
Love is it's universal, and it's something that you don't take lightly. There's all different types of love too. Respect, loyalty, support. If you're really there for someone, you got their back. Like, say you're in class, and you feel like somebody's being picked on, and you speak up in their behalf. Then that's a type of love. No, I'm just saying. There's friendship love. There's romantic love. There's family love. I love my kids, and I love my friends. But it's not the same as when I love, a woman that I share my life with. So those Dodgers, man, did they make it to the World Series last year? I'll tell you, Tom Brady.
Well, they're
is-
playing tonight. That's all I
is on
know.
fire, man. He's going to play another year. Everybody thought he was going to retire, and he's got those supplements. I tried some; they're pretty good. TB, something. Hey, Tom, can you sponsor us, and I'll do some commercials for your for your what do you call them? Supplements, right?
Yeah, it's interesting, and I'll let you guys, because you guys are here to take over the platform, but I mean, it's interesting for me because they're so young, and yet they have these answers about love and what
I
love
haven't
is.
gave you my answer.
It
How do you know
changes.
my answer?
Huh? Well, you said it's twin flames. That's like you really felt that. Like
Jimmy's
you
getting
knew that. It
passionate
wasn't
about it.
just
He's
the
No,
word.
no,
Yeah,
no,
you're
no.
passionate about it.
You got them all fired up
Yeah.
now. Speaking of flames, you're all
Right.
fired up.
And so I'm interested in finding out. Have you ever been in love, Sharon?
Oh God. Okay,
Oh.
I'm ready to speak about this. Hold on. So for me to answer the question that I personally asked is I feel like love is just a feeling, and like Tiff said, there is a lot of types of love. Like I love my friends, I love my family, but I think the one type of love, and to be honest, I don't think I struggle a lot with loving people or myself or my family. I think the number one struggle I have personally is being in love with some partner, and I've always had that issue. So to answer your question, yes, I have been in love, and I have had 3 serious relationships, and all of them ended on a good note. Like
Okay.
I'm okay with all my exes, and I do wish them well always. But I think for me, I never really knew the true definition of love, to be very honest, throughout this whole journey, right? And although my 3 relationships, I didn't really know what true love really is. And I think like when you truly love someone, you love them for the version that they are, the version that they can possibly be, and the future that you can possibly see with them.
That's
And
beautiful.
I have never ever felt that kind of love before, because that kind of love is like a twin flame soulmate connection, where even if they're unhappy, or even if they're upset, or even if like something is going on through their brain, and you are in your own mental state where you're trying to figure out your shit out, you would still try to put them first in a position just to see them happy, because just seeing them happy, like for you to just sit down there and look at them happy, like you are happy to see them happy, and that melts your heart, and
Yes,
I
it
felt like
does.
I actually experienced story time. I I experienced something. I guess James and Tiff, they both know about this. Like it was a very sensitive topic to me, and we're not gonna name names. I actually fell in love with somebody in the most random way, and I really believe that up till now that we are like soulmates. Like because I feel like I do believe, this is the next question I wanted to ask actually, which you guys don't mind. I'm going to say it first. In the right person, wrong timing, and whether you guys believe in it. Because for me, I do believe in right person, wrong timing. I believe that sometimes you can really love somebody and you can really want to be with them, and you see this entire future with them, and you just fall in love with who they completely are as a person and what they can be, or all their flaws. Like you love every single bad part of them, whether it's if all they do is stay at home or something like that. I don't know, but
Play video games,
Yeah.
smoke weed.
Smoke weed.
pants out. But anyway, that's normal here, right?
Yeah.
So I do believe in right person, wrong timing, because for me, I sometimes think that it was
Yeah.
the right person, but maybe really just the wrong timing. But again,
So that could it just be that in the future though, you guys can reconnect? There's that possibility, right?
okay, this is where I come in and tell you, this is my personal opinion, but everybody can have their opinion. So I want to hear what everybody has to say, after this. And I've talked to Tiff about this before. It's like, let's say I'm a piece of paper, right? And I'm a clear canvas. So when somebody that I'm seeing right now, whether if they're my twin flame or not, they crush it up, and you unfold that paper is still going to be so damn crumpled. Yes, maybe in the future, in 20, 30 years, and when your life is settled and you figure something out together, I do believe that you can rekindle that, but it's extremely hard, especially right now, and maybe it depends from person to person. I've heard stories, people break up and then 5 years later they get back together, but recently, recently I realized I used to have that mindset too. I used to believe that, no, maybe now it's the wrong timing, but eventually this person will figure it out. But I realized recently that no, that's not the case, and that's not what I'm gonna settle for. I'm pretty sure there are 7 billion people in the world. There's many right people for you, and you might never know. You might just meet somebody who is so good for you, but you don't truly see it because you're busy, obsessed with the person that is your right person, wrong timing. But a wise person once told me, in your life, there's not just one person that is your right person, wrong timing. There will be a right person, right timing.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, what do you think, Tiff? We're recycling the question.
feel
do you
like
believe in it?
I used to, but as time went on, now I don't anymore. I feel like if it's the wrong timing, then it's also the wrong person. Because like what you said about we won't name names here.
Oh, yeah, you know
But
about that story.
About that guy. If, let's say, he was sitting on the couch smoking weed and doing nothing all day, truly, I don't think you would have feelings for him. I think you could be in love with the potential because you feel like together you guys can take over the world, and you're in love with what you think your future could be like.
This just turned into Love Line.
But, well, I
I
don't
use my
mind that.
DJ voice for that.
I did work for.
I want to
James
say something.
Trenton.
I have a burning desire to say something about love.
Go for it.
Is it okay, everyone? Can I have the floor for like
Sure.
Yes.
5 seconds?
1, 2, 3.
It's I'm over. Okay.
Go for it.
I love Barnhouse Napa Brews.
It's so good.
You want to order some of this online. Go
And
to
I
Barnhouse.
like
Now
your
we're gonna-
sweater.
You're going to see the tag for the Instagram page. Then you can go there and you can order some of this and you can enjoy it too.
And what about your sweater? Where do you get it?
Dickies, but they're not giving me any love. They're not our sponsors, are they?
No, you're taking it to
Dickies.
Spotless Green Cleaners. In
Yeah, Spotless
Ventura.
Green Cleaners in Studio City make all my clothes look nice when I go out to events, when I'm on the red
sure.
carpet. They're my friends over there. They're brothers that run the place. And if you're in the Studio City area, stop in and say hello. Why are we doing commercials now?
Oh, we were just talking about right person, wrong timing. you
Right,
know?
right.
Well,
so
I
they're the
agree
right
with-
people for the.
You do?
I do agree with Tiff. If it's because I also believe, well, and I don't want to. I mean, we could spend here we're not going to be able to spend an eternity. So obviously, I got to make it
We
quick. And,
could. We have
can't-
all night.
right? No, I don't know that we have all night, but
Jim, tell us what you really think.
I really feel that I'm in line with.
I'm
you
sorry,
because
we're out of time.
We're
Go for
we're
it.
all. It's okay. So everything's cosmic. Like everything works. There's no such thing as coincidences. So if someone gets hit by a car, it's because they were meant to be hit by a car. If someone gets
I
gets
actually
hit,
agree with that.
right? It's because it's meant to be in the same like manner.
That's a real
when you
Buddhist
run into,
thing to say.
When you run into somebody, literally sometimes, and it's not the right time. And I'll give you a perfect example. My godmother, who was married to a famous boxer, she was kind of famous in her own right. She fell in love with this guy who went into the army many years ago. And I'll make it very short. He went to the military, so she couldn't be with him. Ended up being with this boxer who obviously left her for other ladies. And then years later, and I'm talking about years later, she was in her 70s. She married her love, like her.
Oh, the guy that went in the army?
He went to the military because he was friends with her brother.
That's a movie right there. That's the
Basically,
script.
yeah.
We're going to start writing
Yeah.
on that. We own the rights. Don't get any ideas.
And they got married. So it was not the right time, but years later, who'd have thought they reconnected and they were happily married till they died, both, And so that's why I believe that if it's not meant to be, like if it's not the right time, who's to say that 10 years, 20 years down the line, you guys don't reconnect with that love?
It's amazing how, and they make movies about this, how one little thing that could happen
Butterfly
could
effect.
change the trajectory of
yeah.
your life. Or Sliding Doors was another movie that
That's
was
a
really
good one.
good about that.
Oh my
a
God.
great one, yeah.
While you were saying that, it just opened up a whole new portal of my thoughts. Just yesterday, Tiff and I were sitting down on a bed and she was telling me all these actions that we chose, all the decisions that we make literally led up to us meeting each other. So it was a bit crazy because speaking about love, I've never felt friendship love in a way before because I've never really had friends my whole life. And it's just because I'm strange, but whatever, it's not my personality. We were just talking about it, how yesterday, because the day that I met, the day that we were supposed to go to Coachella, I was supposed to go to Vegas for BTS concert, and I was just I was so indecisive between BTS concert or Coachella. You guys have
Wait,
no
what's
idea.
BTS?
Oh, come on.
Canceled.
Can I just, I got to interject here
out.
for 1 second. The last time we had you on, we watched the episode and Jim's all, BTS, woo, yeah. And we're just acting like kids. It's like,
Yeah, it was
wait a
hysterical.
minute.
Yeah.
Let's
Jungkook is bae.
let's
Yeah.
not
Like
like
the-
get
No,
those
carried
guys
away
are-
here.
They're
all
legends.
bullshit aside, yeah, those guys have done quite a bit of.
They're legends. Come on.
Yeah, they
Come
rile
on.
up. They rile up the crowds down here.
You got
for
really
real.
excited the last time BTS
like,
came
"Woo,
up on the.
BTS."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Legends,
cool,
they're
good stuff.
legends.
But then I'm sorry. Continue your story.
Oh my god, I have ADHD too, so I forget.
Who, do
but
you have ADHD?
If you're on
I
our
do, my
podcast,
so
ADHD
now
four
you
of
do.
us have
Terrible.
ADHD. We're in
Yeah.
trouble.
so
We're talking about decisions and choices
Oh,
in our
yeah,
life.
Yeah, how
yeah.
one little thing could change the trajectory of
The course of
everything.
your life.
yeah. So I figured, if that day I chose to go to Vegas, Tiff wouldn't be sitting here right now. Legend Ben wouldn't be my friend.
Oh,
I mean, we would be friends, but we wouldn't be like legendary friends. Like
don't
you
even,
know,
that's unthinkable. I don't even want to even fathom
It's
that
not. It's
scenario.
unfathomable.
and like I wouldn't have found the happiness that I found recently in myself and the people around me and the gratitude that I see the world and like this
Yeah.
mental and spiritual growth
Yeah.
in ascension and my mind and mental health and stuff if the effect of right things happening at the right time. And
That's
I feel
right.
like we manifest everything into reality.
Exactly.
I'm so into manifestation and like I'm the most delusional person you will ever
No.
meet.
You put it out there, and then
Yeah,
you
it
put
will
your
come back.
energy wherever you place your energy, and then also too, all these could it also be conceived? Could we? It's fair to say we can conceive these ideas
Yeah.
that are already deeply seated
conceived-
because it's meant to be. It's meant to happen.
Yeah.
I caused conception twice, and they're 37 and 39 now. But I manifested that pig,
Yeah.
the flying pig, which is supposed to be lucky.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't named our mascot yet, but I'm thinking of naming it Legend.
Pudgy. I like Pudgy.
We're gonna keep working on it. I don't know if Legend.
Boring.
Boring. I don't think it's a good name. Boring is not good.
No, you mean the pig itself is boring? It's not a good mascot.
Name is boring.
Oh, the name is boring.
Oh, okay. I thought you
Just-
meant bore.
Pudgy.
Pudgy.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But this was awarded. This was given to me by Nate Golan, who
Yeah.
was on our podcast.
Well, we love Nate. He was here. He was
Sorry,
fantastic.
Seeing your feet.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yikes.
so he's going to sit right here. But I'm
Oski.
proud
Oski.
of that. And that's my inspiration right there because someday I'm going to be able to go. I'm going to be able to say thank
That
you.
is on my vision board. And
Now we go back to. Now we're
all
going to
right,
vision
now
boards.
I'm gonna swap the conversation to what we actually wanted since we're talking about that and manifestation because before the ADHD kicks in. So just now James actually mentioned something about our events that we were going to, right?
And that you went to
So
recently.
we had a panel. I had a panel, and I was so blessed that my friends come and stuff. And the crazy thing about manifestation is that on my vision board, I have a photo of me on the red carpet. I photoshopped a photo of me on the red carpet, and I realized that. So this morning when I went home just now to take my clothes, and I came out to the podcast here, I looked at my vision board and I was like, hold on, the photo that I had on my vision board of me being on a red carpet, I photoshopped myself for a person wearing like a pink dress, and yesterday I was wearing a red dress. Like I manifested everything into
job.
reality. Like
Wow.
it's crazy, and I didn't even realize it was subconscious. And I also realized that I manifested on my vision board there is a Netflix printed logo stuck on my vision board.
And last night when we
We
came
went to a
across that,
Netflix event.
and when we came across that woman from Netflix
Yeah.
at the end of the night,
Yeah.
when everyone was gone,
Really?
I think there was a woman from Netflix and she stayed, and we were just going downstairs, and we ran into her, and then she had a whole conversation. We like kind of tried pitching to her,
Smart.
and she
yeah.
probably thought we're a little crazy, but I think she also liked it.
Yeah.
So
Crazy is fun.
Yeah, and it gets the job done sometimes. It may seem crazy at the time, but there's also people that talked about flying and talked about going to space, and they were called lunatics and crazy.
Yeah.
But what impressed me about what you were telling me about the event was the empowerment of women. And you said it was a panel of women, and it was powerful business women and women in the business, the entertainment industry, and yeah, we're all
great
about
stuff.
empowering
Tip
women.
my hat off to all the women.
Cheryl
Can't do
did
it
an
right now,
amazing
but-
job.
Thanks, because the legends were there, like
hilarious.
calming me down. I'm not gonna lie, I had like massive anxiety, but it wasn't about me. The panel wasn't about me. The panel was about having equality. Having like for us to all like open our hearts up to learn. And recently, I the reason for me to why I found that panel so impactful for me was because prior to that panel, last week I had a little bit of a mental blockage because I am a person that cannot stand inequality, and I cannot stand it when, you know, something is not morally right and I have to go out of my way to fix it. And I know it's maybe sometimes it's a toxic trait, but whatever. I love it, and I love the fact that I cannot stand people who bring other people down. So, you know, for me, I always try to never bring women down, never bring anybody down, because
Never.
that's not nice. you
Nobody
No,
for that matter.
no.
Nobody.
So
I don't like
yeah.
bullying, and I don't like when I see someone being picked on.
Yeah, I got picked on yesterday.
I tend to be the person that will speak up about it. I had a blockage recently, but it
my God, I
wasn't in my
Do you
brain.
want to talk about it?
No.
Yeah. What kind of
Therapist
blockage?
Laxative life.
tip unlocked.
Do you want to
Okay,
talk about it?
well,
Well, you know
Gina-
what? I want to
Yeah,
real quick
Jim,
to
please.
add on to what you guys were saying about the conspiring, you know, the universe and manifestation.
Oh shit, let's go there.
Unwaxed. You know, both of us, we dabble in different kinds of podcasts, and occasionally we like to learn from the younger generation.
Absolutely,
So,
yeah.
we came across Unwaxed, and he said, "Oh man,
No,
it's so badass, right?"
I was watching when they started it,
Right.
and I was kind of like kidding with myself
Right.
to myself. What are you doing watching these girls do this podcast called Unwaxed, talking about these silly
number
things
of
about
things, yeah.
dating and this and that? Well, part of it was intriguing because they're Sylvester Stallone's kids and
Most of them,
Jennifer
yeah,
Flavin.
yeah, right.
So I was thinking like, wow, they gotta, you know, they come from talent and beauty and all that. But I like the podcast.
Yeah,
and
we
I would share
sincerely
about
liked
it.
Yeah.
And I would say, I would openly say, I wasn't afraid to say that I thought that it was going to be very successful and that it was
Sure.
very good, and I was happy to share about it because I believed in it. Well, we were looking for places to do our podcast, and we love on-set studios. I have no problem saying that. We do our podcast over there some nights, and then we're in here some nights. But after we started doing it here, and I love this space, I realized when I looked at the website for Melrose Podcast, I mean the Instagram page,
Sure.
that Unwaxed was right here where we're sitting.
And we were dumbfounded. We're like, wow, it was
I
nuts.
thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was pretty
They're
crazy.
in Florida now, so they have a nice studio.
But everything
so
came full circle, as we're trying to say. And we have our podcast now in the very place where they started their
where
podcast.
we were.
Yeah.
I was inspired by the the setup and the dynamic and everything else. So
Wow.
Manifestation is
It's real.
yeah, out of all the studios that we looked at and all the different
Right, 'cause
places that
there was
we could end
Burbank
up,
and there's
Yeah,
quite a
we
bit
were-
of places we're looking at. You know?
we had
Exploring.
different lines in the water, looking at different spots, and then we just settled on this without even knowing that that's a place that we were watching podcasts on that we really liked the set.
Congratulations.
Unbelievable.
Congrats,
Thank you.
guys.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
and you guys are part of this magic.
But I got to tell you, my friends over at Onset Studios in Studio City, they mainly do self-tapes for auditions.
They're
And
the
if
best.
you go to their IG page and you see the work that they do, I can't say what the audition was for, but I had a big audition.
Yeah, big time.
And I went over there, and Patrick, my buddy, that's over there, he worked with me, and we read it 5 times in a row, just make sure we got in the groove. And then when I did that audition, I've showed the tape to many people. I showed it to Robert Miano.
Sure.
I haven't showed it to Tom Sizemore yet, but he coached me a little bit on that role. And I feel great about the audition, and that's the best thing an actor can ask for. It doesn't matter whether you get cast or not, to me.
Yeah.
It's my opinion, is when you look at that audition and you feel like you crush it, you nailed it, and you don't have any regrets. Or I mean, it's not good to judge yourself, but I've had, I mean, you know when you know. I mean,
You know when you hit it out of the park and when you don't.
I hit it out of the park.
Yeah,
If they don't cast me,
You're
I
not.
feel great. I lost a role to Kevin Dillon. I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, I'll never
that?
feel bad about
Who is
that.
that guy? Yeah, you don't
Frankie
feel
and
bad about
no, Frankie and Penelope. I can't wait for the movie to come out. I've been promoting that too. Anyway, I didn't mean to. You got to stop me.
ADHD, it's okay.
Yeah. You just got to say, drink your coffee.
Yeah, what kind of coffee you having?
It's Barnhouse Napa Brews, baby.
Say with some conviction, baby.
Mm-hmm.
So, continue. You have the floor.
Huh.
What were we talking about?
We're talking
Before I
about
rudely
manifestation.
interrupted.
Manifestations.
Go
for
Sif,
it.
go
Super
ahead, Tiff.
random. No, I was thinking about something. She was talking about friends and how she feels very lucky that now that she's developed these friendships and
Yeah.
recently so naturally she's a influencer, and so she makes a lot of TikToks, and usually her days consist of filming. But recently she's been telling us, all I've been thinking about is the legends. She says, I can't even film anymore. I don't do anything. All I think about is just being a legend and this and that. And I remember when her and I first met, I think for our third hangout, she told me something along the lines of, I was saying what a wonderful person she was. And she said, yeah, I just try to do what I can. And I said, you treat people so well, but they don't treat you back that way. Why do you continue to do that for them? And she said basically that she wants to treat people well and make sure that they're happy and on her expense. So even though other people don't reciprocate that same kind of love and kindness to you, her purpose for being in this world is just to sacrifice her own happiness for others.
Right.
As long as
Was this
they're-
in the bathroom?
Yeah.
When we were
She's a
getting ready
giver.
for your birthday?
So many things happen in the bathroom, I'm telling you. I come up with my
Yeah.
best ideas in there.
Mirror in the bathroom.
My singing is the best in the show. But what I'd like to say is that I heard Cheryl say something, and two things I believe. One is that it's really good for young people to get around old people. I'm not talking about this
That
old. I'm talking about, hey, easy now. No, I'm talking about like 80s, 70s, 80s, people that have they're on the back nine. They really lived they've lived their life. You can learn so much from people like that. And there's a lot of wisdom that comes when you're in your 50s and stuff. So it's good for young people to talk to old people. But there's so much to be learned from the new generation if people would pay attention, because a lot of times they're not taken seriously, and they're like, oh, you're only 20s, you don't know, you don't know, you haven't lived, and people shouldn't think like that. But Cheryl said something. She says, when I meet people, I just want to leave them a little happier than when I met them.
And guess who I got them from?
Who's
I
that?
got it from Tiff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
The reason why
a couple of legends in the house.
So I have something to say as well, because when I first met Tiff, I remember that night. Tiff, she was somewhere else too. We were just all
I don't
having
remember
fun.
that night.
And I
There
remember
was
when
no alcohol involved.
No
because
alcohol. It was
it
all
was-
natural vibes.
Never.
Yeah, natural vibe.
Soda with bubbles.
Yeah. So I met Tiff, and I remember telling her, I said, I don't really have many friends. That was the first night I've ever met her, and she was like, me too. And then as I got to know her over time, like for me, ever since I was young, I just wanted to make people happy, but I just couldn't find the term to it. And I found the term earlier this year that I wanted to have inclusivity for the people. But that didn't really pinpoint the exact emotional direction I wanted to go to. But this was actually like last week when Tiff actually sat me down and I asked her, like, we were having one of our deep talks that we always had. And she said, like, for her, she sees like I'm the younger version of her. Because Tiff is older than me, by the way. I know we look.
We're like a whole month or
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, no.
Really?
A few years.
Yeah, a few
years,
years.
okay.
So I get wisdom
Wow.
from Tiff.
Good.
And my legend band as well. So like she just told me that I reminded her of like
Herself.
like the younger
Yeah,
version of her.
Of course. Yeah.
So to have guidance, I think emotionally as a person from I'm so far away from home,
Yeah.
to have guidance from like the two of them has really helped me as well. So I remember Tiff said this line to me, and oh my God, I just had major deja vu, because that line actually came out of this other person's mouth yesterday.
Oh, interesting.
The exact line of, I want to leave people happier to where I first found them.
Yeah. And I think you have a great support system, this
Yeah.
great support group. And this is very vital to your successes,
Yeah.
And
I mean, before this past month and a half, I think I was also feeling very, there were many days where I felt very lonely, and I felt like, why do I give so much of myself to others when they don't appreciate it or they don't reciprocate it? And sometimes
yeah.
it's not their fault, because when you are a person that you have so much love to give, you have a bigger capacity, right?
Right.
Maybe growing up, you never had that, so you want to give that to the world, and that's your purpose. But for some other people, they don't have as big of a capacity. So for them, it's like, oh, I did this small thing for you, but that's like a big deal to me of showing love. But for people like Cheryl, for her, like, the love that she has is endless. She's like, I'll do this for you. I'll do anything for you. This. So a lot of the times, the people that are able to love and give so much, they end up feeling so lonely. And people that are more creative, or they have experienced more, especially at this age in your early 20s, right? Where most people are, you know, doing this or doing that, going to college, and there's like a following that
vein or
path.
that pathway.
Yeah, and if you're doing something different, and I mean, I dropped out of college, so there was a lot that, you know, most people didn't understand about me and my purpose and what I wanted to do. So I felt very lonely.
Some of the things I see you two doing with business,
Yeah.
I mean, I see things
Mind-blowing.
happening
It's
that are,
mind-blowing, yeah.
you know, it's like
Yeah.
when you have this business sense and you're in touch with, you're on the cutting edge, you got your finger on the pulse of what's really happening in the world with technology and all the stuff that I see you guys doing. It's like a vein of existence, and the college education is not going to stop you from
Taking over the world.
taking over, you know, and becoming a force to be reckoned with.
I really don't think that people should feel pressured to go to college. I mean, I think college is important if, let's say, you want to be a surgeon, you know, you're doing
And
something
I'll
with
never
science.
knock
Especially
it.
a surgeon.
I'll never knock it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I
please.
always told people, you know, they say, oh, there's people with college educations that are working at a car wash.
Yeah.
I say I have a certain amount of education. I don't have a degree in anything. I started a business when I was young. I spent 35 years or more, you know, building a business. But I would rather be working at a car wash with a degree than without one.
Yeah.
But there are also people that never got a degree that are multi-million billionaires. So
I think everyone has, and I agree with you.
But-
And
but-
at the same time, I believe that everybody has, like you said, a trajectory of how it's kind of you sort of pave your own future as you see fit, and there is no one good or right way of doing it. And everyone has a different journey. So
personally,
to speak. So,
I would
yeah.
not discourage anyone from getting a college
Exactly.
education.
I have a degree.
But I also don't
Me too.
believe in the whole
But
every kid and every
No,
family
no.
has to go to college,
Yeah.
and that's, you know, it seems to be a little bit of a theme that's happening right
regimented
now.
also. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's some, we know, like Mike Rowe says, you know, he's not popular in a lot of circles, but, you know, we need mechanics, we need carpenters, we need people to build businesses.
Right.
And on that note,
Yeah.
I'd like to say Quality Painting Plus in Orange County is a great place to go if you need your house
It's
painted,
the place
your
to go.
office, your commercial building, anything like that.
I think what we can all agree on is that we support, you know, learning and growth.
That's
For
right.
me, I say, okay, maybe if, let's say, you're in a tough financial situation, but you want to do this thing, you can learn on your own. Maybe you don't need to go to college, but you have to continue learning.
That's
Yeah.
the
If you're not in
underlying,
college, you have
to. Right.
thing. Yeah.
And as we wrap up, because we started a little late, so we're going a little over. I
thought
know
we're
it
just
just
starting
feels
the
like we
party.
just
You're already
sat
done?
down. Yeah, because it's
Tiff,
yeah.
we should do this more. Should we
We
start?
can.
like
You
fall
guys,
like
are,
a
you
fall
guys
back.
are welcome to
Started.
come back anytime.
Yeah.
We'll always fit you in the schedule.
Yeah.
One thing I could say is there are people that have just worked jobs that didn't pay a lot, but they were good with their money and they invested well, and they became more wealthy over the years than people that made a lot of money and squandered it.
Right.
So that being said, we have someone who's going to come on and talk about finances and investing and how to prepare for your future when you're young, and how to get started for as little as maybe like $80 a month, which we pissed that away.
Wow.
And then guys my age can get started. It's going to cost a little more, but then over the next few years, you can have something that you could actually borrow from it
Little
and still
cushion.
have, like, if
Yeah.
anything happens to you, your loved ones can get like $500,000. So it's really great. I'm looking forward to have her coming on.
can hardly
And
wait.
I'm looking forward to having
But
her
today is
come
about
on.
us, though.
And it's about these two beautiful young ladies
Legends.
that
not
had
young
a lot to
ladies.
talk about, so much that we're going to have you back on soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm really, I can't wait.
And you know, and yeah, for absolutely, this is your home. You know the way. So just let us know whenever you like to come back, and then we can also
bring more of your friends. Hey,
bring a whole.
you have to come back because you got to bring
Yeah.
Ben.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ben has to
Legend Ben
come.
has got
Ben
to
is like
come.
one of these. You hear about it. You know, it's like you've
He has
never
a good
quite
head on his
seen
shoulder here.
anyone like him, but you just know that
Oh,
it's
there's
something
no
you
one
want to
like
experience.
him. We know that. There's
Yeah,
no one like
we-
that.
Ben,
There's
you're-
no one like
Ben, you're
any one of
invited.
us here for that matter.
You're gonna come on and hang out with us.
There's
Okay,
no-
we got
there's-
we got room. We have room.
Yeah,
we had
could,
three.
We could squeeze them in here.
We had
there
trip
another microphone,
three
too?
beautiful, wonderfully talented
There's five,
triplets
right?
here. So
Mo,
Uh,
Hey.
before we end, I
Okay.
just wanted to say I think one thing that me and Tiff strongly believe, and also Ben, like one thing that we would like to I guess end with is actually about enjoying the journey instead of the destination. I learned this by hanging out with them my whole life. I
That's
thought
absolutely
that
true.
it's so important to, oh my god, get this amount of views, get this amount of followers, reach this certain amount of fame, or like get this number of streams, or get this like floor price on my NFT project that I'm a part of. But I realized that the journey is so much more beautiful if you just purely enjoy the journey instead of the
Live in the
destination.
moment, as we actors say,
and
right?
as
Live in
we
the
end, I just want to say, Lonnie actually told me that when we first met, because I had a lot of apprehensions about being the age that I am and getting back into the entertainment and getting back into acting and stuff like that. And she said, it's your time. And it only takes one yes could change the whole trajectory of your life, like we were talking about. And, it's the journey. Enjoy the journey. Don't think, oh, when I get that big role, I'm going to be happy, or I'm going to get... No, enjoy auditioning. Enjoy what you're doing now, especially for people that are young.
Yeah.
You already got it. So you got the key to the universe.
So fast. in a
You
blink of
figured
an
it
eye.
out. So many young people are like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. And
That's
they're looking at their
beautiful,
goals.
not knowing what to do. because
Exactly.
at least
Embrace
right now
that.
We have that time to discover what we want
That,
to
and
do.
the discovery, that's the key.
Yeah.
Guys, one last question. Have you subscribed to Jim and James Morning Podcast?
Yeah, have you
I've never
subscribed to
heard
Jim
of
and
it.
James Morning
Well, why don't we do
Podcast?
it now?
What can I
Guys,
say?
and that's our
Oh,
show.
Thank you so much for having
is it?
us.
Drop your handles,
Thank
your
you.
social handles, please. Your social media handles. Drop your hand.
You guys can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and everywhere else. Sure, CHERB8AR, number 8. 8, replace the E with the 8. I don't know if you get it. It'll be on the screen.
We'll drop it. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
drop it in there. And what about you?
You guys can follow me on Instagram, YCHLN.
It's your
That's
first time
it.
saying that. That's so
Yeah.
funny. I never heard
And
it.
Jim, could you do me a big favor before we're going to get off right now because we've ran out of time? Could you find a subscriber and give them a shout out? Because I want to see if they want some merch, they could just hit us
Oh
up.
yeah, absolutely. Let's do
that's
that
so
now.
sweet.
Yeah, well, we
Yeah.
have all this merch that we ordered, and
Can we
if
get
you
one
want some,
too?
absolutely. We have
Give me
shirts,
pajamas,
cubs,
guys, new PJs.
hats.
So-
Replacing the Wii Spot uniform.
Yeah. No, nothing will.
So, Jacques Mesa, you're gonna win a mug.
All right, we're going to reach out.
Congratulations.
It sounds like a relative, though, because his name is James Francis Mesa, but that's okay.
He just picked it.
I'll pick the next one. No, it's
this
not
is
related.
the Jewish guy.
All right. Thank you. Hey, we'll see you next time.
Take care.